Hello, everyone. This is No Office Podcast or Wednesday with Michael or something like that. So, welcome everyone. This is going to be something new that we're going to do because, as you know, we have the No Office Podcast. This is going into No Office Podcast feed, and No Office Podcast has been on a hiatus. It's been there was a pause when we were um, uh, uh, recording, and now we think we should go back with season 2 or 3 or however we're going to call it. So, next season of No Office Podcast is coming, and it's coming on September the 4th. So after the summer holidays, after the summer vacations. Um, so, eh, but as I wanted to advertise this new chapter and give you a sneak peek, I decided to record this Wednesday. So the idea will be this: we'll be recording every Wednesday, starting from September at 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, or 1600 European Central Time. Um, and we'll be recording live. There will be a segment where I'll be explaining things, talking about Nozbe, talking about getting things done together with the team in a remote environment. So the typical No Office podcast themes, and there will be Q&A after the show, uh, a live Q&A, and the whole thing will be recorded as an audio podcast to be shipped for everyone on a Friday, on a mighty Friday. So every Friday, people will be reminded to do a weekly review and to listen to a new episode of No Office Podcast. That's the idea. That's the plan, and we'll start in September. So in 2 months. But now I wanted to just reappear in No Office podcast feed among No Office podcast subscribers, and also uh, give you a sneak peek of how it's going to go and talk about this brand new feature that we just launched of Nozbe, messages. Because we have a whole video recorded about this, so I'm going to show it to you right now. I mean, I'm going to show you where this video is. So if you go to nozbe.com/messages, and we'll have the link in the show notes, you will see a video of me explaining messages, how it works, and why we launched messages in Nozbe. And you can see where it is. Like if you have the new Nozbe, and if you have more people on your team than just yourself, then you will see messages, and you'll be able to send messages, one-on-one messages, to anyone on your team. So kind of private messages. And then it's the same interface as comments in tasks in Nozbe. So let's explain why. Let's talk about the why of messages, because I don't know if you know, but in our team and in Nozbe and among our customers, there was a tension. We were not sure if we should send messages if we should have messages in Nozbe. And it, it was a controversial topic, because Nozbe is about productivity. It's about getting things done. It's about this simple concept of projects, tasks, and comments. And that was the key, and that was the most important thing. And sending messages was always considered not productive, like chatting, FOMO, fear of missing out when you're chatting with other people. So we've been using internally at Nozbe Slack, and we have encouraged our customers to do that as well, because we have a Slack integration with Nozbe. Some other customers have been using Microsoft Teams, and the integration with Microsoft Teams is coming to Nozbe anyway. But we thought, why not make messages productive? Why not make chat productive? So that's what we did. And the main idea was to see if we can make it different. So as you can see, the interface of a message is very similar. I mean, it's exactly the same as an interface to comment. This way, it kind of invites you to send a longer message. So not just hi message, how are you message, I have a question message. Like it's not productive. But you know, we are accustomed, and our customers, Nozbe users, are accustomed to sending thoughtful comments in comments to tasks. So we want them to also send thoughtful messages. For example, just preparing this live event, Evelina, who's on the backstage, hi to Evelina, she um, sent me a message yesterday saying, "Hey, Michael, because we agreed that we're going to do the live thing. Where is the task for that?" And I was like, "Oh man, I forgot. Could you prepare a task for me with a checklist of things we should discuss?" And then she did. So like we discussed this privately in messages, but then there was a task in Nozbe, and it was easy to link to the task because as you can see, it's the same interface. So it's really easy to link to a project or a task from within a message. And then together with this feature, the feature of messages, we also launched this second feature that you can create, a task from any message or any comment to any task. So this way, if you talk to somebody privately in a message and they just, have this great idea, so you can basically tell them, let's convert this message to a task. So again, this is the way for us to make messages productive and tightly integrated into your project and task management application. And the best part, it's available, on any platform. So if you have an iPhone or Android or or Windows or Mac, you can send messages to anyone on your team, and you don't have to think what kind of platform are they using, how do I get in touch with them. You just send them through Nozbe. So this makes, the messages makes Nozbe a complete super app, a complete communication app, a team communication app. So here, on our page where we explain, about messages, you can learn more about messages, which brings you to our messages help page, which again you can see in my video, which I encourage you to see after this. And then there is like a very nice presentation of how messages work. How easy it is to send a message to anyone on your team, and how easy it is to communicate with people inside of your company. And also here we explain, all the features of messages, that they have the same features as comments to tasks, which is really important, as we said, to make messages really productive. And then that how you can create even a task from a message. Like here, Dominica has prepared something, so let's just make it a task. Let's just create a task from it. So it's really uh, easy. It's really easy to make messages productive, which was the goal. And to give you an idea how messages came to be, when we were testing messages internally, uh, what I did was, I built a proof of concept in Nozbe of messages, which means I created a project, a private project just for me, where I had individual tasks, because in new Nozbe you can create a task for anyone on your team, regardless if they have access to the project or not. So I created a task for Evelina, for Magda, for the whole marketing team, for each of them an individual task, and I told them, let's communicate through this task, not through a message. Um, not through Slack. And this is how we started. And this is how I realized, hey, this is really cool that we can actually have all the communication, in one platform. So so this is available today on all the platforms for new Nozbe customers, for new Nozbe members, even on free plan. When you have a free plan of up to 3 projects and 3 people on your team, you can try messages. And the cool thing is, you have this green bubble, you have this green counter. You can also change the notifications. So if you don't want to be receiving the notifications about messages, you can disable them. But you will still be able to see the counter of messages, which is great and useful. So again, our take on messages is to make them more asynchronous, more productive, more calm. So you're not stuck chatting with people. And eventually, hopefully, you will be adding more tasks where you will be commenting on these tasks. Another thing, which is really important for me as a leader, for me as a CEO of Nozbe, is that when you lead a team, one of the one of the principles of management is that you should be praising in public and talking trying to be critical, should be critical in private. This is one of the famous coaches that quoted that you should praise in public and criticize in private. And now I know that it was no famous coach, but it was actually the Katarina, the um, how do you call the uh, Tsar of Russia. She was the one, many years ago, like hundreds of years ago, that said that. So the idea is that, when you have a task and there is some constructive feedback in the task, that's correct. Like you should put a comment there to the task. But um, but if you want to let other people know, for example, let's say Evelina, who's here, let's say like one of her projects is not moving forward, and instead of me, lashing on her, in the project saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" I can just write her a message. "Hey, Evelina, what's wrong with this project?" And I can link to the project, directly in the message, saying, "Hey, what's up with that project? When are you planning to, go ahead with this?" And then she can reply to me and she's saying, "Oh, Michael, sorry, let I was busy with this and that, but now I'm going to have time, tomorrow, and I'm going to, deal with that." So this way we can, iron out the details, and we can just, talk privately using a message inside of Nozbe, which is just, again, very, very productive. So that was, the main thing. And again, this is available only to new Nozbe customers. So if you're a Nozbe personal user, um, well, I would say this is the time to finally migrate, to take the plunge and migrate to the new Nozbe. New Nozbe is has been, over the last years, has been ironed out. It's easier to use. It's the fact that new Nozbe is harder to use is an urban legend, I would say. Um, Also, the new Nozbe has this very cool interface of priority and incoming, which is completely different from Nozbe Personal, where all due dates or mentions, everything goes just straight to priority. Whereas we have the priority, which is your priority, and incoming is like every notification that should have your attention. And I think it's more in line. The new Nozbe is more in line with getting things done with GTD, especially more in line with the new GTD for Teams even. So this way it's just better to use. But you don't have to take my word for granted. You can just check new Nozbe yourself. It's for free. And then do the migration yourself, or you can write to Nozbe customer support. And if you write to support, we can help you migrate, or we can migrate for you. So we can move you from Nozbe Personal to new Nozbe for you, and make sure that everything is properly imported, properly migrated. And this way, you can get started with the new Nozbe, and also whatever you have used, like your final day of usage of you paid for, everything will be transferred to the new Nozbe. So everything will be fair and square. And but you don't have to take my word for it. Here in Nozbe.com, if you go to how it works, then you will have this video, again, another video featuring yours truly. But this video is very cool, because we've had many customers saying, I don't want to start with new Nozbe because it's so difficult to use, it will be difficult for my team. And this video, again, I show that you can get started in less than 5 minutes. And it's with a timer. So you can really see that in 5 minutes, I'm setting up from zero to hero a new Nozbe account, and inviting my team members and getting things done together in 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, and it's for free because it's up to 3 users, up to 3 projects. So you don't have to pay for anything yet, but you can onboard your team right away. So it's really important that that you give it a try. So watch this video and see for yourself that you can use Nozbe in less than 5 minutes. Recently, we've had customers who are still on Nozbe Personal for their personal tasks, but they have already set up new Nozbe for their team. So this way, they already start using Nozbe with a team, and they can get advantage of the messages feature. And on the other hand, they will be able to later migrate their personal account back to Nozbe as additional workspace. Because in Nozbe, you can have separate workspaces: workspace for your team, workspace for private tasks, which is really glorious. This is like a perfect separation of private stuff and business stuff. This was one of the main requests of Nozbe personal users way back when, to really have a bigger separation of what's company stuff and what's mine. you know and Nozbe has this promise to be able to give you this option to organize your private and business life in one app. And that's the idea. And now the whole communication can be in the app. And for me, let me tell you about something else. Say goodbye to email. So I've been talking about email and the fact that you should not be using email inside of your company internally ever again once you start using Nozbe forever. And now I'm hoping that the new messages feature will be the last straw to finally move you and your team to stop using email for collaboration. You should be using email still with the external people, but even then you can have joint projects, so you can share projects with other teams, which is really cool. But internally, you just add comments to tasks, create tasks, and if not, send messages. Like, you have the whole thing in your Nozbe app at the palm of your hands, and it's here. It syncs across devices and across people. So I hope this will be the motivation for people to stop using email internally, because, as you know, like, in one email there can be multiple queries, CC, BCC, the noise, the newsletters, and Nozbe, and email is not secure. Whereas in Nozbe, if you attach an attachment to a task, it's encrypted. It's encrypted both um, while you're sending the message, but also it's encrypted, stored on our servers. So it's really, really it's really safe. So again, I think messages in Nozbe will be this feature that will kind of change the industry. It will change the way you get stuff done in teams, because you will no longer have the need to communicate internally without with email, or through Slack, or you won't have to pay for Slack. You won't have to pay for other chat messages, or chat apps, or you won't have this fact that you have discussed something in WhatsApp, but you haven't copied this, so it's not in your task manager. In Nozbe, the messages are tightly integrated in the system. You can easily link a message to a task, to a project, to a tag. It's just much easier. It doesn't get easier than that. And speaking of email, some people, some of our customers, they have discovered that in the new Nozbe, you can have email for any project or even any section of a project. So this way, when they're using other applications which they require in their industry, and they receive notifications from these applications, they very often, for notifications, use the internal Nozbe email. So this way, every notification becomes a task in Nozbe. This is like the easiest way to integrate Nozbe without any computer knowledge whatsoever, just using email again. So again, I hope that this will change the way we use Nozbe. So now that we talked about the messages and about how it happened and why it happened. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to check if there are any questions. Yes. Here, Jesse is asking if we can chat with more than two people at once. Not yet. Now it's only one-on-one chatting, one-on-one messages. but contact customer support, send your request, send your feedback, and we'll see what we can do to improve the messages. Our idea was that once we decided that we wanted messages, and we wanted at least one-on-one messages right now, we wanted to first, because it was a controversial feature, we wanted to ship it as soon as possible to our customers. So make sure to try it out, um, and test it one-on-one with your team members, and see how it works and see what you're missing, and send us your feedback, and we'll be happy to review it and to see how we can improve on this feature. So again, because this feature is pretty controversial, we wanted to ship it as soon as possible and get as much feedback as we could. And that's why also it was important, and I would like to say that I'm really proud of our team that we managed to send this, to ship it to our customers before summer holidays. We wanted to make sure that people start using it before they are off on holidays, or while they're on holidays, so they can check how this works. Also, um, let me talk about migration from Nozbe Personal. So if you're a Nozbe Personal user, you can migrate to new Nozbe, and also we will be offering, as I mentioned, assisted migration. So we will help you migrate to new Nozbe also over the summer. So this way, if you do, should you decide to move to new Nozbe because of messages and other features of new Nozbe, we can help you with that over the summer. So when you're back from holidays and when you start, working, your whole team is crunching, sprinting from September to the finish line of the, of the year, you will have the new Nozbe set up. So make sure to contact our customer support. We'll be happy to assist you with migration, answer any questions you might have. Also, if you're not sure that Nozbe is for you and you want to, consult this, here, book a demo. There is a very nice link, book a demo. You can talk to Magda, one of our marketing and support people. Magda is amazing. Magda will not only demo Nozbe for you, but most importantly, she will talk to you and ask you about your needs and about your industry, and explain to you how Nozbe can help you leverage what you have, how you can get more organized with Nozbe. So she will adapt the demo for you and give you tips for your team. And as I mentioned, also check out the messages, the help section, on our help page. The link is very complicated. It's nozbe.help. so make sure to go to nozbe.help and check out messages, and check out everything else we have on nozbe.help, because we have everything here. Everything here is nicely written. It's all there. So this way you can quickly get the hang of it, and realize what you can do, because there are so many. Nozbe is still around. It's still simple with the structure of projects, tasks, and comments, but it has so many powerful features that you start discovering while using it. So make sure to go to nozbe.help on a Friday and check all these advanced features, forwarding to email to Nozbe, sharing projects with other teams, sharing tasks with other members. So make sure to learn all about this. And now to conclude, I also wanted to tell you that in the new Nozbe, as I mentioned, there are two. You can have multiple workspaces. You can have a workspace for your team. You can have your private workspace with your private tasks, which is great. Or if you have a bigger team, you can have multiple workspaces. So in Nozbe, we have this. When you go to Nozbe website, we have the business plan. So Nozbe Business, where is it? There you go. There is a premium plan and there is business plan. And business plan, you can have several workspaces, unlimited workspaces actually. So this way you'll be able to, for example, have a marketing team in a different workspace, sales team in a different workspace. So you can share this, or if you're a serial entrepreneur, you can go to you can have several companies using Nozbe Business. This way we have multiple serial entrepreneurs using Nozbe and managing all of their businesses from one app, from Nozbe, from their phone, which I would say is very cool, that you can manage all of that from a smartphone. I mean, we are really living in wonderful time. So make sure to check it out, because Nozbe Business is just 1.5 times more expensive than Premium, so not much more expensive. But then you can have multiple workspaces, and with Premium you can have just one workspace. So if you already are using, power using two workspaces, it pays for itself very easily. So make sure to check it out. Again, if you go to nozbe.com/guide, so if you go to how it works, you can learn more about setting up your team in less than 5 minutes. Then, of course, our structure of projects, tasks, and comments. And then there is, our powerful Nozbe features unique to Nozbe, the priority, incoming, and activity. And also here you can learn about multiple spaces in Nozbe. So how to use multiple workspaces, how to manage your stuff between different workspaces. So make sure to check it out. It's you know uh, it's something that we've been working on, we've been perfecting, and with our customers. And as you know, I talk to my customers very often. So and this podcast, NoOffice podcast, this new structure here, that we will have a live recording every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, starting from September, and then a podcast, audio podcast on Friday, um, will enable us to just be in touch more. So we will be bringing all of your questions here. We'll be responding to your questions. Maybe sometimes we'll invite some guests. But the idea is that to have this consistent experience, that you can get in touch with Nozbe, get in touch with us, get in touch with me, because we are a small company compared to our big competitors. Nozbe is privately owned. We have no VC money. Our customers are our investors. So make sure to support us and build Nozbe with us. And before I head off for the summer vacation, I mentioned that migration can be now assisted by our team. So if you want to migrate from personal to new Nozbe, and also that you can have you can check out the business accounts, and you can check the new Nozbe messages feature, and all of that. It's really easy to try. And in July and August, there is a special offer, but we are not announcing it. We're not making a big promo or a big splash, but I'm telling you now, because you're an awesome listener and you're listening to me here live or on the podcast. So if you write to if in July or August you sign up for Nozbe or migrate to new Nozbe, and change from monthly to yearly plan, which saves you only 20%, because when you move to a yearly plan, you basically save 2 months. Write to customer support and tell them that Michael told you on the podcast that he wants to give you 2 extra months. And then customer support will give you 2 extra months because I said so here on the podcast. And we have witnesses, we have people live, we have people listening out on the audio podcast. So it's there. It's stated in July and August. Special offer only if you decide to migrate to new Nozbe, set up new Nozbe for your team from scratch in less than 5 minutes. If you do that and go for a yearly plan, instead of 12 months, you will get 14 months. Just write to support and tell them that Michael sent you, and Michael gave you the special offer. So this way, not only you will save, because you will save 2 months when going yearly, but you will get 2 months extra. So basically, you will extend for 14 months. So make sure to check it out. Tell them Michael sent you, and yeah, and basically I got it. I've talked about everything I wanted to share today. If you have any questions, still let me know in the comments, and if not, send them to customer support. So when we start our regular recording of NoOffice podcast and live Wednesdays, on Wednesday the 4th, September the 4th, at 10 a.m. Eastern time, or 1600 Central European time. um, um, Let me check just one thing. It's 1600 euro this time. Oh, but also, let me check one more stuff. There you go. So it's going to be 3 p.m. London time, so 3 p.m. UK and Ireland. So 3 p.m. Every Wednesday. So we'll be recording starting from September. I can't wait to have like a regular podcast, regular recording with you guys, talking about stuff, how to manage a company where not everyone is in the office, how to manage company where you can manage the whole thing from the palm of your hand using a smartphone and an Nozbe app, and how you can have the action and communication in one app, having Nozbe with your projects, tasks, and comments, and now messages as well. And I think the message feature, um, mm, the messages feature will completely change the way people communicate in Nozbe, and this way we will have people using messages everywhere, and stop using Slack, which is not productive, stop using other messaging platforms, and have everything around your tasks, projects, and comments. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being live today. Thanks for being awesome Nozbe customers. And again, I've been doing this for 17 years, and I'm just getting started now with messages. We have changed our mind from something that we thought wasn't part of Nozbe, and now it is. And our customers, the early feedback we've received this week was awesome. People have discovered this feature on their own without big promotion. And I think there is a new chapter for Nozbe, being this perfect, one communication and action app in a team where everything is just much better organized. So again, thank you so much. Uh, have a great summer. Have a great summer vacation, and enjoy your time. And see you in September. Hear you in September, and let's get things done together. Don't cram 20 people on Zoom.